Today we're cracking open a vault. Inside isn't gold or jewels, but something way more valuable. A toolkit for success, a set of keys that can unlock human nature itself. So let me start with a huge question. What if you had a blueprint for influence? I'm not talking about manipulation or trickery. I mean a genuine way to connect with people so they want to help you, they want to agree with you, they want to join your side. Look, this isn't some new age fad or a trendy life hack. This blueprint was first published way back in 1936 by a guy named Dale Carnegie. And its ideas are so powerful, so timeless. They're probably more important today than they were back then. And Carnegie himself was super clear about this. He wasn't writing some dusty old textbook for you to just read. He said this is a book of action. It was designed from the ground up to get you immediate real-world results. And the results? Oh, they're legendary. Salespeople who used these ideas saw their numbers skyrocket. Managers got promotions and big pay rises. There's even this incredible story of a Harvard grad who said he learned more about people in 14 weeks with this stuff than in 4 years of college. And it's not just about work. Homes literally became happier places, and people who were shy suddenly found it easy to make friends. All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to break down 4 of the most powerful pillars from Carnegie's code. And trust me, I'm saving the absolute biggest one for last. Then we'll talk about how you can master this whole system. Okay, let's dive into the absolute foundation. Seriously, if you get this one thing right, everything else in your life when it comes to dealing with people just clicks into place. Here's a trap we all fall into. We try to use logic to persuade people, but Carnegie drops a truth bomb on us. We're not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion, creatures bristling with pride and vanity. Logic just bounces right off. So knowing this, Carnegie's #1 rule, the big one, is this: don't criticize, condemn, or complain ever. Why? Because it's completely pointless. Criticism puts people on the defensive and makes them immediately justify themselves. It wounds their pride, hurts their sense of importance, and sparks the resentment that can last for years. And get this, for an example. Even Al Capone, the most notorious gangster in America, saw himself as a public benefactor. He thought he was just misunderstood. Now, if a hardened criminal doesn't blame himself for anything, what chance do you and I have of changing someone by criticizing them? It's like you've got 2 roads in front of you, right? On one side, you have criticism. That road leads to resentment, defensiveness, and damaged relationships. But the other road, the better way, that's where you ask questions, you try to understand their side, and that road leads to cooperation. And here's a perfect real-world example of how this works. Picture this. A safety coordinator is going nuts because workers won't wear their hard hats. Instead of yelling, he tried something new. He just asked them if the hats were uncomfortable. Then he gently reminded them that the hats were there to protect them. The result? Compliance went through the roof, all without a single argument. Okay, so if don't criticize is your defense, what's your offense? Now that we know what not to do, how do we actually proactively get people to like us? What's the secret to winning hearts almost instantly? This right here, this quote, is basically the secret code to friendship. And it flips everything we think we know on its head. We spend all this time trying to be cool, trying to be interesting, but Carnegie says, forget that. The real secret isn't to be interesting, it's to be interested. And the best part is, he breaks it down into 4 super simple steps anybody can do, starting today. 1, become genuinely interested in other people. 2, smile. It costs nothing but says everything. 3, remember their name. To that person, their name is the sweetest sound in any language. And 4, just be a good listener. Encourage them to talk about themselves. It's that simple. And this isn't just some nice little trick. We're talking about a strategy used by Theodore Roosevelt, one of the most popular presidents ever. Before anyone came to visit, he'd stay up late reading about whatever that person was passionate about. He knew the quickest way to someone's heart is to talk about the things they love. All right, you're on a roll. You've stopped criticizing, you're making people like you, but now comes the real test. What happens when you actually disagree with someone? How do you get them to see your side of things without it turning into a big fight? Carnegie's advice here is going to sound crazy, but it is so powerful. You cannot win an argument, period. Think about it. Even if you win, you've made the other person feel bad. You've hurt their pride. So in reality, you've lost. You've lost their goodwill. Yeah, this old saying just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? You might score points, but you haven't actually changed their mind deep down. You've just made them resent you. You win the point, but you lose the person. It's a bad trade. So if you're not supposed to argue, what do? Well, here's the secret weapon. If there's any chance you're wrong, just admit it right away. And do it with enthusiasm. It's amazing how this completely disarms people. It's just like that old proverb says, right? When you fight, you always come up short. But when you yield, when you're the first to admit a mistake, you actually gain power. The other person's anger just melts away, and they often become way more reasonable and forgiving. Okay, here we are. The one I told you we are saving for last. This is the master key. This is the single deepest human driver that makes all the other principles work. If you understand this one thing, you'll understand everyone. So what is it that people want more than anything else? I mean, more than food, more than sleep, more than money. It's this burning, deep down desire to feel important, to be appreciated. It is the one craving that almost never gets satisfied. And this drive starts so young. Carnegie tells this great story about a little kid, a total picky eater. His dad didn't scold him. Instead, he said, "If you eat this stuff, you'll get big and strong enough to beat up that bully who takes your tricycle." You know what happened? The kid's eating problems disappeared overnight. He was willing to eat anything to gain that feeling of importance. Listen to this. The famous psychologist, William James. He didn't call it a wish. He called it a craving, like a hunger you can't ignore. And he said the person who can genuinely satisfy this hunger in others will hold those people in the palm of their hand. But, and this is a huge but, Carnegie gives us a major warning. This is not about cheap, empty flattery. People can see right through that. Flattery is selfish. It comes from the teeth out. Honest appreciation is sincere and unselfish. It comes from the heart out. And don't think this is just some feel-good advice. This is literally a $1 million idea. Charles Schwab was one of the first people in America to earn a salary over $1 million a year. And he said his single greatest asset was his ability to give appreciation and encouragement. He said criticism kills ambition. Appreciation makes people want to achieve their full potential. Wow, we've just walked through some of the most life-changing ideas ever put on paper when it comes to dealing with people. So let's do a quick recap of the keys we've unlocked today. 1. Ditch the criticism. 2. Get genuinely interested in other people. 3. Remember, the only way to win an argument is to avoid it. And 4. The master key, feed that deep human craving for honest appreciation. Just one of these can change your life. All 4, it's a total game changer. But here's the kicker. As powerful as these 4 ideas are, they are literally just the beginning. The full book is packed with over 30 of these principles, each one illustrated with incredible stories and practical step-by-step advice. So, let me ask you this. After seeing what just 4 of these principles can do, are you ready to master the whole system? Are you ready to unlock your full potential in your career, with your friends, and with your family? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and click the link in the description to grab your own copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People. This isn't just a book, it's a toolkit for a better life. Your transformation really can start today. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next explainer.
Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful to you, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll leave the link to purchase this book below in the description. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.